Okay, so we're in the key of A, and we're looking at a 12-bar blues, and this blues I'm playing has kind of a uptown kind of Chicago shuffle feel, and I'm playing some fancy happy chords here. I'm playing some dominant 7s and 9 chords. Sometimes I throw a 13 in, but you know, we'll talk more about these cool chords in a different lesson, but right now let's just focus on the turnarounds that come at the end of the 12-bar progression. We always get to that point, right, in our 12-bar where we're towards the end, right? And we're on the 5, 4, and 1 chords in this case, which is going to be an E, a D, and then an A chord. So the 1 is A, the 4 chord is a D, and the E chord is the 5. So here's the first turnaround. All right, so what's happening for that turnaround is we're coming around from the 4 to the 5 to the root note change, right, the root chord, and then what I do for this, so I'll just slide, I'll put these 2 fingers down at the same time, right, and I'll kind of come at from underneath the fret, and then I'll put an extra little slide on the 3rd finger, so it's 1st finger, basically 5th fret, 2nd finger is here at the 7th fret, right? And if you can put a push on that note, right? And everything's outside picked. And to play the last 2, you hit them at the same time. I just put a bar here at the 5th fret on the high E and the B, okay? Right? So again, okay? And part B is this. It's just a E7 on the A string, the D string, and the high E. And the shape for this E7 chord is your 2nd finger goes on the 7th fret of the A string, your 1st finger is on the 6th fret of the D string, and your 3rd finger is on the 7th fret of the G string. And you come down, move it down. This would be E here. Go down 1 fret though, so it's like E flat to E, you know? Or you can say D sharp 7 to E7, right? And that's the move right there. So the whole turnaround right? Okay, so the second turnaround is, again, we're in the same place in the progression, coming into that 11th and 12th measure off of the 5 to the 4 chord change, in this case, you know, the E to the D, right? Okay. So what's happening here is that I'm playing the D and the G strings here, and I have this 1st finger on the 4th fret of the D string, and I have the 2nd finger on the 5th fret of this G string, right? And I'm sliding them from the 4th, like we'll use the 1st finger fret as our marker. From the 4th fret, you move the whole thing, right, up a fret, so that your 1st finger is at the 5th fret, and then your 2nd finger is now at the 6th, right? I take my pinky and I put it in front of the 2nd finger note here on the G string. So once you slide this up a fret like this, put your pinky on the note in front up here at the 7th fret of the G string, but keep that D string ringing back here, okay? And then you go back and do that beginning move again, right? Right? You want to work on your left hand muting for this. This is a good exercise for these things, because all you want to hear are the D and the G string. You don't want to hear this A string and low E, or the B string and the high E. You don't want to hear those strings. You just want to hear these 2 strings, the D string and the G string. Right? And that's that whole like A section now. It's like the A section of this turnaround. Right? back to the same shape we played for the other turnaround. All these, the same shape we played for the other turnaround, which is this basically a D sharp 7 to an E7. We're just right, and all the muting is real important. Again, with these shapes, we're just doing small chord shapes, so we're only looking at the D, the A string, the D string, again, and the G string. This turnaround, the whole thing, we're coming into the 11th to the 12th measures from the 5/4 to the 1 change here. Then you rinse and repeat back to the 12 bar and start your 12 bar over again, right? But you can look at your turnarounds as a reset button. They just kind of reset the progression to start over again. What was happening with the third turnaround? Well, again, always coming in from the same place with the turnaround. We're moving from the 9th to the 10th measure on the E9 to the D9 chord, right? Once we hit that 11th measure, right, we hit our 1 chord, right? Here's turnaround. We come up here to a C. This is just like a C major triad. Those strings only. It's not a bar chord. I'm not playing. You can do a dominant 7. I mean, you could do. That would be a variation, but what I played was just these 3 notes with a whole bunch of muting. I don't want to hear the high E, the D string, and you don't want to hear this D string either. I'm just fretting the low E string here at the 8th fret. Then I'm fretting the A string here at the 10th fret and this G string at the 9th fret. So right, and move that down. Just from the first finger being at the 8th fret, just move the whole thing down, then 7th fret, then the 6th fret, back to the 5th fret. So here's that turnaround, right? Okay? This one you can trick out a little. Like if you want, you could, an altered little bonus with this shape. You could do the bar chord, you can do the 7 if you want. You could do just like a C7 chord, down to a B7, to a A sharp 7, to an A7 chord. Just use the big old bar chord. That's a variation, you could do that too, right? And one more bonus with this shape, you could also do a cool 13 voicing, okay? Check this out. Play a 13 on this, right? Just do the bar chord, in this case A7, and take your pinky and make a 13 chord out of this. You put your pinky on the 7th fret of the B string right here. And you have this 13 chord, and you could use this 13 chord for this turnaround also. So you have like 3 different ways so far you could say, just using off of one chord shape. That's pretty cool, right? I'll play that again, right? Check it out. So these turnarounds are really helpful. They'll help your rhythm playing quite a bit, and you'll add a lot more variety and spice into the things that you play by just knowing some different ways of playing turnarounds. And the more familiar with this you get, obviously the more you can pull it into your own playing. So there you go. 3 really cool blues turnarounds you can pull in to your playing right now. Add a little more variety, a little more spice to the things you're saying on the guitar. Make them personalized too. You could embellish them in different ways, but certainly will open up the doors for a lot more creative ideas to come your way and give you some cool things to say at the end of those 12 bar progressions when you're doing a blues at the jam or at the open mic with your friends or at band practice, wherever. Sound a lot more awesome. Sound really hip. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Lots of cool new lessons will be coming up. I'm putting all kinds of content up, so don't miss out. Hit that notification icon, and we'll see you next time.